My name is Arielle Busetto, and I am a journalist living and working in Tokyo, Japan. When talking about Japanese culture, one question that often comes up is, how do the Japanese approach religion and spirituality? Let's find out. The City of London, Wall Street in New York. We are in the equivalent location in Japan, the Tokyo Stock Exchange. It was founded by the so-called grandfather of Japanese economics, Eiichi Shibusawa, in the hope of bringing happiness and prosperity to society. Just next door sits Kabuto Shrine, where many Japanese and even visitors would come to worship what is considered to be the god protector of the stock market and commerce. How is it possible that in a society which is so modern, and when we don't think of the stock exchange as being something particularly spiritual, would people come here and pray to the god of commerce? People often say that to understand Japanese culture, you need to understand the concept of 8 million gods. In Japanese, Yaoyorozu-no-Kami-sama. I first came into contact with the concept of kami through ICHI-RYU MANBAI, which is based on Japanese mythology. Make sure to follow this space, as ICHI-RYU MANBAI brings the story of the 8 million kami to the world. Many Japanese are taught that all that exists in the world is thanks to the 8 million gods, meaning the virtually countless deities that exist in all things and permeate everywhere. Consider this. At the stock exchange, during the stock listing ceremony, a bell is rung 5 times. Why? Because the word for a prosperous harvest, gokoku houjou, alludes to harvesting 5 grains. Thereby, even in the stock exchange, the idea is that by ringing the bell 5 times, it brings good fortune and auspicious for stocks trade. In some sense, there is a spiritual presence even in that ringing bell. So what exactly does kami mean to the average Japanese? Does worshipping 8 million kami mean to just worship nature? What is the difference between the Western notion of God and the Japanese notion of kami? Using everyday life as a starting point, we can look at how the story of the 8 million kami began, and by doing so, revealing deep aspects of Japanese culture.